Hey, this is Joe Price. I just wanted to provide some instructions on how to help with our 1914 cohort study. We're going to be focused on married women in the 1940 census who are 26 years old. So most of them are part of our 1914 cohort, and we want to do the record hint for the 1940 census, and then, if possible, try to link the woman back to the 1930 census where she's living with her parents. The whole purpose of the 1940 cohort study is to take one birth cohort in the United States and see if we can make sure that every single person in that cohort is on the family tree, and then we link them to their death information and other census records. We have kind of like what it would look like to make sure that nobody gets missed, and by doing that with just one birth cohort in one country. Okay, so when you come into the sheet, you can just check out some of these. I'm just going to hit the URL that's going to take us right into SourceLinker. The first thing we have to decide is if it's a match. So you can open up details. You can see here Buffalo, New York, Buffalo, New York. Here's Mildred. She's born 1914. Name matches up. Smith is her married name. She doesn't have parents on the family tree, but this looks like a fantastic match. And then we won't add the kids because they're born too recently, but we would then add over the information and hit attach. Or for those of you that use Goldie May, you can just kind of use Goldie May to help do the attach. Okay, so that's the most important thing, is to attach the person to the 1940 census. We can account for all of the women in our sample. The second thing you can do is see if she shows up in the 1930 or 1920 census. What we really want to do is find her in a census record with her parents. But notice here, this is Mildred. So here she is living in Buffalo, Buffalo, Mildred Arlee. There's her parents, and then here's her sibling. So we are actually going to, this looks like a fantastic match. We're going to attach this record, and notice we're going to add the parents. And then when we go to do that, there's always one of those tricky moments where we need to look. So you can see Buffalo, birth year matches, wife's first name matches. So I'm going to hit select, which is great. That means we just connected Mildred into her family. Okay, and so now that we've done that, we will attach the rest, and Robert's going to get added to the tree, which is interesting. He was also born in 1914, so he's part of our cohort study as well. Okay, so that's great. So we've actually accomplished both of the tasks, and it's okay if you just do the first one, but that was really neat that we were able to connect her to her parents. Okay, so let's just put in a one. One just means you tried it. So even if you skip it, you can just put in a little, you can put the one and just put a little note. So here's Greenwich, Washington County. Okay, here she is living with her husband. Again, we're not going to add the kids because they're born too recently. Let's see, it looks like she's here with her parents. Uh, so let's do the attach. Oh, and one thing I just realized with Mildred, I should go back. I'll go back and put in her birth state. I forgot to put in New York as her birthplace. Okay, so notice we don't have her in the 1930 or 1920 census. So let's go take a look at that. So let's see if we get any hints right here. If you hit show all, you can see all of them. Okay, so she's not showing up in the 1920 or 1930 census. We could hit family search records. And then one thing that you can do is you can filter on a collection. So right here, we're just going to pick the 1930 census. And let's just see if we get any good matches there. So we're looking for Josephine. Not seeing any really good ones here. So one other thing we can do is let's just go take a look for her on Ancestry. So what I'm going to do is just click the Ancestry button. Let's just see. Ancestry has a lot of public member trees. They also have some pretty good code for linking across records. So here you can see she is in a public member tree. So maybe we'll go take a look at that really quick, but it looks like she's just there with her spouse. But this might be, an opportunity maybe to bring some stuff over from the tree. We could also put in some stuff about her husband. So let's try one other thing over here is, let's see, here she is in that 1940 census record. Okay, and one thing is as I click there, I will sometimes see good matches here. The other place is if I just scroll down here, I've got a 1930 census. You can see there's Santo, Nora, Laura. That's interesting. Josephine Riccio, which is obviously her maiden name. So let's actually do that fix really quick. Maybe that'll help us a little bit on family search. Okay, so let's just try that one more time with, I had overlooked that we hadn't put in her maiden name. So let's see right there, there's a Josephine. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Okay, it's Family Search is saying this is a good match. Okay, here we have Nora, Laura, Santi. Okay, Greenwich. This one still looks like I know the Nora Laura is like a pretty glaring difference. But let's just do one thing over here. Um, let's just see if she's on a public member tree that might give us some insight about that. Okay, just do one other thing. I'm just going to see if she shows up in like a Social Security record. There's her parent, Laura Polchecki. Man, I'm still pretty sure this is a match. So I'm actually going to attach this, but that Nora Laura is probably the thing that's holding me up the most. But I still think this is probably going to be just fine. Um, okay, so now we've basically finished both sides of the task there. I might leave myself like one thing I can always do is I can leave a little note that says come back and check on the Laura Nora issue. Okay, let's do one more together. We're going to click right here. Okay, so again, here we have Alan. Got Buffalo, Buffalo, birth year lines up, name lines up, got mom and dad. This is great. So what's very likely happening here is we're connecting a 1940 census to a numinant record. Nice thing about the numinant is it's going to give us Jean's maiden name. So let's go take a look now at her page. So we've attached the 1940 census. And let's see if we're getting some others. And this is great. We actually picked up a possible duplicate. So once we put in that new information, helped us find a duplicate. And this definitely looks like a good duplicate. We've got Erie names lining up, birth year, birthplace. And so we are going to do this merge right here. And let me show you what the end result of this is, which is pretty cool, is now Jean is connected to her husband and to her parents. So the two versions of Jean, one with her parents, one with her husband, now they're all together. And let's just see, and here she's in the 1920 census. And she's also here in the 1930 census. So I'm just going to attach that really quick. Really, one of the goals of our paper is to try to link all these women from 1940 back to all the previous censuses for them. But yeah, there we go. So we just attach that. So hopefully you can kind of see what the basic idea is. There's really two parts. One is handling these record hints for the 1940 census. And then the second part is if you can link them back to 1930, that'd be fantastic. And then if you stop, you can just delete your name. It's just a way that we can all work together on this project. So thanks for helping. We really love working on this 1914 cohort because they are the most recent birth cohort that meets the 110-year rule. So they are really the perfect group to be adding to the family tree.